Economics students from the Polytechnic University of the Philippines.
I'm Maracostina F. Corpus from BS Political Economy.
I'm John Bellisumpio from BS Political Economy.
And I'm Leonard Armstrong I. Garcia from BS Economics.
A blessed day to everyone. This is a documentary about income gap that gives emphasis on the importance of having literacy.
We do create some research and gather statistical data about income gap.
We interview professionals like dentists and non-professionals like janitors.
And this is how it goes. We cannot erase the fact that having inequality in our community is very dominant nowadays. And one of them is the income gap between the rich and the poor. Some says that the rich become richer and the poor become poorer. Why is that say so? As we gather some data and conduct various research, we have known that the main source of having a stable job is a good education. Having education can be your key to a better future. In the corporate world, professionals and graduates with degree obviously do have more chance of getting a job compared to the non-graduates and undergraduates. And this factor may result in an income gap between two individuals based on their educational background. In many countries, there is a gender income gap which favors males in the labor market. Gender inequality and discrimination is argued to cause and create poverty and weaknesses to society as a whole. High education levels and social integration significantly improve the productivity of all members of the household and improve equity throughout the society. When we talk about the efficiency and equity in our economy, there are alternative measures to inequality. First, the Lorenz curve that shows the cumulative fraction of the country's total income. The second one is the Gini coefficient. It is a graph that measures the inequality among values of frequency distribution and the Dalton-Atkinson empirical representation of income distribution that measures income inequality.
After Christina discussed the measures of inequality like Gini coefficient, Lorenz curve, and etc., now we will discuss the causes of inequality. Why inequality happens? Very early examples. Number one is the ability. Individuals with ability or innate ability has the higher possibilities or tendencies to have higher income. For example, the individuals with higher IQ has higher tendency to discover the thing that others won't discover.
Ability. Everyone knows that people have different capabilities. Some can run faster, do calculations more quickly, type more accurately, and so on. Hence, it should not be surprising that some people are more adept at earning income. The talents that make for success in school seems to have some effect, but hardly an overwhelming one. The same is true with the intelligence quotient. It is clear that some type of inventiveness are richly rewarded by the market, as it is the elusive characteristic called entrepreneurial ability.
Number two, education and training. Native ability alone has rare possibilities of higher income in the long run. People must develop and acquire more knowledge through education and training.
Education. One important factor in the creation of inequality is the variation in the individual's access to education. Education, especially in an area where there is high demand for workers, creates high wages for those with this education. As a result, those who are unable to afford an education or choose not to pursue optional education generally receives much lower wages.
Number three, computerization and innovative technology. We so relate in this one because we all know we are in computer age, so the innovations and technologies like the machines and computers are replacing the manpower.
Computerization and technology. Another factors that contributed to the already growing inequality in the 20th century was the computerization and growth in the technology. with electricity replacing the manpower. With this growing technology, changes in the technology, increasing demand for skilled workers to use computers and operate that electrical inventions is experienced.
Progressive taxation that means the richer is taxed proportionally more than the poor, reducing the amount of income inequality in the society. And last, the minimum wage legislation, raising the income of the poorest workers. Nationalization or subsidization of products providing goods and services that everyone needs cheaply or freely, such as food, health, and housing. Governments can effectively raise the purchasing power of the poor members of society.
There are several effects of inequality. These effects only show that there are certain costs which cannot be avoided and are shared by everyone, such as costs of housing, pensions, education, and healthcare. One of the effects of inequality is social cohesion. Research has shown an inverse relation between income inequality and social cohesion.
Social cohesion is the bonds that bring people together in a given society. The concept is a multi-faceted notion covering many different kinds of social phenomena. It is associated with sociological theories of structural functionalism and in broader fields of political science. These basic necessities of life are the foundations of a strong social fabric and important indicators of social progress.
Another effect of inequality is affordable housing. The number of quality rentals decrease as the number of higher quality housing increase.
Affordable housing is that which is deemed affordable to those with a median household income. Income is the primary factor, not price and availability, that determines housing affordability. In a market economy, the distribution of income is the key determinant of the quantity and quality of housing obtained.
And the last effect of inequality is population health. Population health shows a relation between socioeconomic status and health. This relation suggests that not only the poor tends to be sick when everyone else is healthy.
Health is the level of functional or metabolic efficiency of a living being. In humans, it is the general condition of a person's mind, body, and spirit, usually meaning to be free from illness, injury, or pain. There are factors that have been found to influence whether people are healthy or unhealthy. These are income and social status, education and literacy, and employment or working conditions.
As of 2004, the NSO reports that the population of the Philippines is at approximately 80 million. About 57.6 million are adults aged 10 to 64 years old. Of this, 57.6 million, 32 million live below the poverty level of 32 pesos per day. Could we say that this impoverished 32 million are functionally literate? Not by a long shot if we follow the NSO theory that's one economic structure indeterminative of one's level of literacy. One view is that literacy rate has risen from 72% to 90% in the last 30 years. According to the 2005 Functional Literacy, Education and Mass Media Survey conducted by the National Statistics Office, 48.4 million or 84% of the estimated 57.6 million Filipinos who are 10 to 64 years old are said to be functionally literate. But what is functionally literacy? The NSO defines it as a higher level of literacy, which includes not only reading and writing skills, but also numerical and comprehension skills. In other words, one that is not limited only to the basic knowledge of reading, writing, and arithmetic. ARMM had the lowest average family income and the country's lowest national literacy rate, as well as 62.9%. Areas with possible literacy rates were found in Eastern Visayas, 76.7%, Zamboanga Peninsula, 74.8%, and Davao, 77.8%. Functional literacy was found to be higher in females by an average of 0.8 percentage points than in males. Significantly, however, it was found that functional literacy arose in those areas that were economically well off. In fact, the top 6 regions with average family income were found to have the highest functional literacy rates. There are NCR, 94.6%, CAR, 85.4%, Calabarzon, 90.4%, Ilocos, 88.6%, Central Luzon, 86.9%, and Cagayan Valley, 84.1%. ARMM had the lowest average family income and the country's lowest functional literacy rate, as well as 62.9%. Areas with possible literacy rates were found in Eastern Visayas, 76.7%, Zamboanga Peninsula, 74.8%, and Davao, 77.8%.
How did you came up with your work? Did you apply or someone referred you?
I applied in the government. Someone told me in the barangay that there's a need of a dentist, a government dentist that will do a practice in our barangay. So I applied in Makati City College.
Second question po. How long have been you working?
I've been working in the government since 1984 up to the present, a total of 28 years in service.
How much do you earn every month or daily?
Actually, our salary goes 15-30. That means every 15 days, they give our income. That's every month.
What are the things you consume with your income?
There are a lot of things to consume the money. Actually, the money is so short that will fit in all the expenses. The house, the clinic, and everything, tuition fees, the food, and others.
Do you have any savings?
A little because of the short income.
Are you satisfied with your income?
Actually, not so much. It's lacking.
What do you think are the ways for you to have additional income?
Being a dentist, I can have a private clinic. But at the moment, I don't have a private clinic anymore. But there are some cases that we can do some other means of income. Examples are doing prosthesis, like denture, fixed bridges, and sometimes I do surgery like infections.
Thank you po.
Yun lang.
Paano mo nakuha ang trabaho mo?
May kakilala kami before sa Biswag ng Permit.
Gaano na po kayo katagal sa nagtatrabaho?
Mag-1 year.
Magkano po ang sinasahod nyo kada araw o kada buwan?
Kami, 446 pagkatapos nasa 5,000 plus
Ano po yung mga pinagagastusan niyo po dun sa sweldo niyo nakuha?
tumutulong ako sa pagbayad ng ilaw, tubig, sa bahay.
May mga naiipon po kayo?
Kada sahod 1,000 yung sinisave ko.
Sapat po ba yung kinikita niyo? Kung hindi po, ano po yung pwede mong gawin para kumita pa ng marami?
Sa akin kasi yung kinikita ko, sapat na kasi pang-tulong lang naman dahil may trabaho din yung mister ko na pinagkukunan namin ng paggastos.
In this whole documentary, we are focused about the inequality of income of every individuals. Why? What's so bad about inequality? Here are the 3 reasons. Number 1. Extreme inequality leads to inefficiency. Lack of access to credit leads to underfinancing of good, productive opportunities. Since the middle class has the highest average and marginal saving rates, income inequality leads to lower savings and investment. Number 2. Extreme inequality leads to inefficient allocation of assets. Overemphasis on higher education to detriment of basic education. Inefficiently large farms next to inefficiently small farms. And lastly, extreme inequality leads to political and social instability. The poor try to revolution while the rich try corruption and rent-seeking to retain power. And most people think it's unfair.